Alright, so the crew, this is the second beta. My friend Icarus had some codes and he gave me one. I didn't get into the first beta, but I'm into this one thanks to him, so thank you, Icarus. And I already wanted to start off with a negative, and that's the controller. I'm using an Xbox 360 gamepad and trying to reassign controls. I had issues by assigning a key. If the key I wanted to select was already set on something else, it came up with a thing saying that the key was already assigned and it wouldn't let me change it. I just got frustrated with it and left it, and that results in me hitting the wrong buttons while I'm playing. So hopefully that's something that they resolve. But yeah, so other than Uplay, the button reassignment is already a negative. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it here. So it starts you out in Detroit. You don't get to pick. And before playing the demo, all I knew about this game was that you could drive across the United States, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I haven't left Detroit. I've just been doing some of the missions and stuff, and there is a lot to do. I have just over an hour played so far, and I've already driven like 5 different vehicles. It sets up a story here. You start out in a Ford Raptor, running from the cops, getting used to the physics already. Pretty fun. I do want to bring up the whole graphics thing. Now this is a beta, they probably don't have everything set in stone yet, and that's fine. And generally with open world games like this, where there's so much that has to be rendered at once in a persistent world, slightly lower graphics, I don't really mind. I can kind of give a pass on that. But this really isn't, next gen. Like I said, it's just a demo, or I mean a beta, so that's probably something they might polish up a little bit more. However, it is capped at 30 frames per second. Now you can go into the ini file and change it, and the max you can get out of it is 60, but some people have been reporting it causes sound issues and stuff. I have not tried it. I've not gone into the ini file at all, but out of the box the beta is locked at 30. The developers say that for the PC they are working to get that to 60 frames a second, and they should, but I think the consoles are still going to be at 30 frames a second, so that kind of sucks. I would even rather them sacrifice the graphics a little more to get that performance in, because it's a driving game, a racing game. The frame rate is really important, so hopefully that's something that they can get worked out. But other than that, the graphics, they're not terrible. Some of the effects are good. The reflections on the car are decent. So the first mission there, you see the dirt effects, the textures on there. That looks pretty nice. Easy first mission, just getting used to the game. Truck is pretty cool. Like I said, I'm just over an hour in. Already driven 5 different vehicles. A whole little level system here going on, and you can get upgrades for your car when you get a car. And there's a perk system, and that'll be in some later videos. I'm going to go into all that kind of stuff. It doesn't give you a whole lot of cars to choose from at the beginning, but it's enough. You get 4 cars you can choose from. Again, that'll be in the next video. This is kind of just first impressions overview. The radar itself for the map is okay. Now, one of my other complaints here in the cockpit view, I would like my view to be a little wider. There's not any field of view options in the menu. I don't know if you can change that in the ini file. I haven't looked it up or anything. You probably can. And this isn't real bad, but I would like it to be a little wider. Also, the rearview mirror, they don't work in the cars, so you get no reflections from your rearview mirrors, which is pretty weird, I think. But I guess it is what it is. And again, that could still be, just for the beta. This is a beta, so I'm not really judging the game itself based on just the beta, and it is really fun. Like I said, there's a lot to do. I'm an hour in. I've done a few of the story missions so far, and I still haven't even left Detroit. So if there's anything specific you guys want to see, like a cross-country run, whatever, just let me know. I also haven't really done or played with any of the social options. It's a very social game, and I think if you get some friends together and make like a little car club and go cruising or just causing chaos, that'll add a lot of value to the game. And I think in the beta you can hook up with your friends and go driving around, so I will probably do that. This beta ends on Friday. I don't have a whole lot of time to play a lot more of it, but I am going to try and get some more game time in.
I marked the barn on there, you see it?
Yeah.
Set a waypoint and get over there. We need you back in Detroit ASAP.
The story and the dialogue or voice acting is pretty much what you expect from a game like this. It's kind of like Fast and the Furious and the Need for Speed movie. A little cheesy, but hey, do what you can. The main focus is just driving cars around.
Get a hustle on, Alex. You ain't got time to screw around.
The map that you can go to is pretty nice, and you can zoom out to see the whole United States and set waypoints for pretty much wherever you want to go. I am looking forward to getting out of Detroit and just kind of exploring the rest of the map as much as it'll let me before the beta closes. I don't like this.
We happy?
Oh, we happy.
Damn right. I put a lot of money under the hood, so you should have more than enough muscle to burn tonight's crowd.
That's a badass
Speaking of
car.
which, you need to get here soon, Alex. Your brother's spooked about something.
It's not like Dayton. I'm on my way.
You need it in Detroit, Alex. Set a waypoint and get over here.
Now in the options,
This race is gonna be intense, man.
with the pad you can change
No doubt.
or dial
Just
in
don't
the
forget
dead
your
zone,
brother needs to see you after.
the sensitivity, and all that kind of stuff, which is good. And as far as driving aids, you can't really turn on and off different things like traction control or whatever. There's just 3 main settings you choose from, and it's called car handling help level. And the 3 options you can choose are all driving help, sport, or hardcore. But it does not tell you what each of those changes or what each of those does. I set mine to hardcore, but again, I'm guessing all driving help might have like auto brake and ABS and traction control or whatever, but I'm not sure. I haven't tested them, but it would be nice if it explained what each of those options did. But again, beta. That'll probably be something that they'll implement into the final game. I like the nitrous. It's a little jarring in first person because it puts the camera view back so far while you're driving. One thing I do really like is that GPS line on the screen that's in the air. Now from the cockpit view, sometimes it can be kind of hard to see and follow, but from all the other views, it's very bright, very easy to follow, and I like that a lot. A lot of times a lot of other games, you either just have to look on the map, or they put it on the pavement in front of you, which isn't bad, but having it up in the air is a nice touch, and it's something different. So I don't play a whole lot of these open world racing games. The last one I did play was Need for Speed World. That game, it's very, very similar to this, and it's free. So maybe check that out. It has a whole friend system if you're on the fence about getting this game. And if you like that and you want something that's a little more polished and will probably have a higher player base, then maybe get this game. You can pre-order it now, and even on PC, it's $60, which is kind of steep. I don't know if I'm going to get it at all, but if I do get it, it'll definitely be when it's on sale. And that's not saying that the game is bad or anything, it's just not really my kind of game. And a big influence on it, if I get it or not, will be how many of my friends get it. And you see all there, I just did like a little slalom thing. But I accidentally hit the retry button. So it started me back here and I had to do it again. That's kind of a neat feature. I didn't mean to hit the reset or retry button, but not a big deal. And there's all these little kind of different mini driving games, I guess you can call them, spread throughout. So while you're on the way to doing whatever, it gives you a chance to get some more experience and level up. So that's kind of neat. I do like that. Another thing that this game reminds me of a lot is the old Midnight Club games, and that's a good thing. I love those games. Sounds pretty good. I like the engine noises, the tire marks, the nitrous sound. The game world feels pretty alive, and it's nice. Again, it's like Need for Speed World, where you can see all the other online people driving around and stuff. And as far as the missions themselves, when you accept that right there, sorry, but that reminded me of like a Russian dash cam video. But when you accept the mission, you can do it solo is the option, so it's just you versus AI, or you can do them co-op, which I haven't done a co-op race yet. I tried to do one, but it was on accident and nobody joined. And if you select co-op, it starts a countdown timer, and if no one joins, it takes you back to the menu to select co-op or solo or exit again. But if you do select co-op, there's no way to cancel it. So either people will join and you'll race with them, or you have to wait for that timer to run out. And it's not a long timer, but it is kind of annoying. Because, you know, just starting out, getting used to the game, I just wanted to do all these solo missions. But overall, it's not a huge deal. Hopefully there will be a way in the final game to cancel that if you don't want it.
Relax, I'll be there.
And I also like how your character in the game is an actual character, you're not just a silent hero, which maybe some people would want, but it's nice to have that full voice acting, even if it is kind of cheesy. And you'll see with the cutscenes and stuff. So this is the first kind of main story race, I guess. Not just getting you used to the game like with the Raptor, but you do an actual race. This is so fast and furious right here, it hurts. Decent cars in the game. I looked at the full car selection. There's not a ton, but there's a decent amount. And everything from, you know, old Camaros to new Lamborghinis, so there's a nice mix. All pretty awesome cars. And again, with several engine upgrades and body upgrades or exterior upgrades and parts that you can put on your car that aren't fully unlocked so far that I could see. Like my first car I got, which you'll see in the next video, I got a Camaro, and there wasn't a whole lot of performance stuff that I could add, and I don't know if it's because I just hadn't unlocked it yet or if it just wasn't put in the beta. I'm assuming it wasn't put in the beta. You're kind of limited on a few things, which is understandable. And that's not something I really fault it for. I mean, it's a beta. You're not going to have everything. But it did give quite a bit of body modifications, bumpers, side skirts, hoods, color choices. There wasn't a color wheel to where you could pick the exact color you wanted, but there were a lot of color options, and I'm assuming that I only checked on the Camaro, but I'm assuming they're probably just the factory color options, but that's not a bad thing either, in my opinion. And I'm doing this race in the chase cam because open world, for my racing games I prefer track racing. And with open world like this, you know, you don't really know what the track's going to be. Luckily they have these yellow barriers to guide you, and they're just easier to see from afar in that third person. I'm not sure if the final game will have it, but in the beta there's not like a difficulty option for like easy, medium, hard, or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know if that'll be something you could pick in the final game. But the beta so far is not very hard. There's really only been one race, and I did record it, that gave me trouble, but I did beat it. And the main character here, your character that you play as, he reminds me of Walt from the end of Breaking Bad.
Everything all right?
All I see is Walt.
Fine. Let's go.
We've got to cook.
Ambassador Bridge, bro.
So far, there's been a couple of these beat the clock races, but they give you plenty of time. I did have to restart one,
Wrong side of the law.
and that was just my fault, because it said don't damage the car, so I was going all slow and not damaging anything, but then it turns out it doesn't matter if you damage the car or not, so on the second try I went all out.
This isn't about that, Alex. I founded the 510s. I'm the V8. And my own brother is breaking the rules. How do you think that looks? No wonder I've got guys breaking rank left and right.
Yeah, I noticed, I don't know if it's just because of the hardcore driver setting I have, but if you start a spin, you're gonna spin out. It's really hard to save, but it's not a big deal. That's just something that you just have to get used to with the driving physics of the game.
Put shit back in line. I want the best driver I've got to burn him on the road. And I was giving you a chance to take this stuff seriously.
So you see, I've already spun out a couple times, but I still have plenty of time to get to the end. Just a scratch. So yeah, you get experience and bonuses and stuff, typical driving game stuff. It's pretty well implemented, it looks like.
This is the guy. Stay low.
Hands where I can see him! My brother needs help! How are you doing, man? Help him! He's bleeding out! Got a gun! That ain't mine! This one's dead.
Turn the music off, but cutscene music stays. Hopefully I don't get flagged for that. If I do, I'll just mute those sections, I guess. Or take them out. So yeah, 5 years later, that was a whole little prologue. Kind of standard cliche stuff for something like this, but I mean, it works. It's a video game, a car video game.
Hello, Alex. My name's Zoe. I think we can help each other. You know these guys, right? Of course you do. One killed your brother, the other framed you for his murder. Here's the deal. I want this guy. Special Agent Coburn, he's dirty. All I need is proof. And you want this guy, Dennis Jefferson, a.k.a. Ship, leader of the 510 Motor Club.
I'm in.
You've got 8 more years in here. We can wipe that slate clean, clear your name.
I said I'm in.
Okay. You're hereby working for the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I got nothing against being on the right side of the law.
There's a ride in the shop across town. I'll be in touch.
I'm keeping this.
Whatever gets you stoked.
I'm pretty sure your beta progress doesn't carry over to the final game, but that's not a big issue. Yeah, I'm going to leave it off here. We'll go over what I bought in the next video. I'll have that video out soon. And again, if there's anything specific you want to see, just let me know. But yeah, that's the first part of the crew, what I think so far. Take it easy, guys.
We have a budget for this operation, Alex, but it's limited. I've given you enough cash to buy and set up your first ride. Spend it wisely. After that, you'll have to fund upgrades yourself. They're all available to test drive, so take them for a spin if you're unsure.